Hi, welcome back to Garden on the Moors. This week we're talking all about our chickens, so enjoy! Now you may remember from one of our earlier videos that sadly we had a fox attack the other day which took 6 of our hens. Now the ones that remain are good as gold, but they're very sad and lonely and they're not quite themselves, so we've got a few new additions so that we can build up that flock again, and they're just in here. So let me introduce you. So before I let them out, what I'm going to do is just get this little area ready, because what we'll do is just keep them in here for the time being, this little quiet place, whilst they get settled in, and then overnight we'll then introduce them, but more on that later. So the first thing I need to make sure is that they get used to this style of being fed, which is a hopper feeder. And what this means is that the chickens have to push down on here when they step on, and that then opens, I don't know if you can see, that will then open this so they can access the food. But it takes to get some training. So in order to train them, what I do is get a little pot, just a little dish, fill it with some feed, tuck it back in there so that they can see it from around, because it's a bit tucked in there. They can see it from around and they don't need to do anything, because I'm going to put this rock just on here to act as the weight, so that way they get used to feeding, putting their head in here to feed, and they can also see the rest of the food in there. So that's how we get them used to it. And then after a few days we can get rid of this and just have the rock, and then after that we'll then get them used to just walking on and finding it themselves. They'll be absolutely fine. And then the other thing is the drinker. So this doesn't really need any training, because they can see the water, because red is very attractive to birds. We also see that in plants. Plants that are pollinated by birds are often red flowers. So we'll just fill this up with some water. And then the little cups will start filling. And as long as this is reasonably level, it won't overflow. So then again, I don't need to keep filling this up every day. That'll keep them going for a little while then, about a week or two, one like this size. So that's that. Now let's get the birds out. Okay, so first up we have a Brahma, which is similar to our bird who was called Bella. She's a lovely, lovely big bird. She's a sort of golden partridge colour. You can see a bit like a pheasant, the feathers on her back, and lovely gold with black trimming there, and a black tail. So this is going to be our biggest bird now. It's very similar to Bella, same breed but different colour. So this one we're going to call Babs. Off she goes. It's obviously quite a shock being somewhere new. But she's a sweet little bird. Right, well, I say little, blooming massive. Now, who else have we got? Okay, next up we have there she comes. Little Cuckoo Moran. So she's called that because of the colours, the sort of grey and silver colours that she has, sort of similar to the partridge in terms of pattern, but that lovely charcoal grey. She will lay nice dark brown eggs, almost like a chocolate colour. We often get these sorts of breeds. In fact, this is the third one. So this is Scotch the third. So welcome to the family. Off she goes. lovely. And you can probably see at the minute that the skin around her face, so around her eye and her comb, is very small and very pale. That means that we know she's not laying eggs at the minute. Once that goes a lovely dark, deep dark red, then we know that she's going to start laying soon, and then she'll lay those nice dark chocolate brown eggs for us. So she's a bit young at the minute. She's point of lay, so she's probably a couple of months old. But yeah, she's only a young bird. Okay, and then last but not least, we've got our scattiest bird. But I think our most beautiful. This is a silver campine. She's very small, but she won't actually be our smallest bird in the group. She's probably be in the middle. Silver campine, and look at this beautiful white, almost lilac white hair. We're going to call her Daenerys. We're a bit of a Game of Thrones fan, so Daenerys Targaryen she's named after. But off she goes. She's a scatty little thing. But hopefully, once she's settled in, she'll be bold with the rest of them as well. But they're all quite shy at the minute and hiding, which is pretty normal. But that's why we're just letting them in here for today. Let them get used to one another, have some food and some drink without being too, too overwhelmed and crowded out by the other existing birds we have. But yeah, so there we go. We've got Scotch the third on the left, Daenerys in the middle, and then Babs on the right. So there we are, she's getting used to the new feeder, and luckily the others are watching as well and hearing what she's doing, so they'll learn as well. But they've only been in for a minute or two. You see Babs is looking to see how Scotch is getting it, so hopefully she'll figure it out before long. But that's great, that's a really good sign, and that immediately she knows what to do, and the others will just copy her then, because these have all obviously come from the same farm. Yeah, Babs is trying to get in there. I have a feeling that this Cookie Moran is going to be a bit of a bossy old mare. She's very not shy at all. So Babs is looking, she wants to get in there, but I think she's not as dominant as Scotch. They might have a little, no, that's good. They might have a bit of a Barney, but no, that's all fine. Well, that's awesome. So 2 of them, we know for sure, know how to use that feeder as it is. And I'm sure Danny will catch on before long. So this is our new, shiny, new door that cameraman Bran, who's just on the phone, very kindly made. It's nice and sturdy now, because how the fox did get in was that we had a rock smaller than this, it was half the size, and it had pulled the gate too, and this had very slightly come ajar, and then the gate was just enough for a little fox to just squeeze in the little bugger. So now we've got this huge rock which I can barely move, so I'm hoping that a fox can't really move it either. We've got this bar here, so that if I do move this rock, then it just jams, so it can't come out. And then we've got more barbed wire around the top, so hopefully it's a bit like Fort Knox, and that's that. So far so good. It's been a couple of weeks now, and no one's managed to get in, so let's keep it that way. So, you can hear how heavy that rock is. I thought it would be a good time to just touch base with everyone and remind you who everybody is in our little flock. So first up, we've got one of our silkies. This is Colossus. She's a partridge silkie, so similar sort of patterning to Babs, but a silky breed, so lovely and fluffy. Bit scatty, but she's a lovely bird, very friendly. Then we have our other Silky. This is Titan. She's now our oldest bird. She's at least 5 years old. Yeah, I think she's 5. I don't think she's 6 yet, but 5 years old. Another Silky, and this lovely blonde white sort of colour. Looks a bit like a pet rabbit. And yeah, a little scatty bird as well. And you can see she's got cute little blue sort of ears there, which is a really nice touch. And I don't know if you can see, she's got extra toes. So there we are. That's how Silky is that. I bet you didn't know. Maybe you did. So there's our 2 Silkies. Then we have Ginger. I'm sure you can guess why she's named that, but she's a blacktail because of these little black feathers she has at the base of her tail. She's our current boss, Bossy Boots, and lays a sort of pale brown egg. But she's our next newest bird that's still with us, and is laying. You can see now this comb, lovely and filled in and bright red, not like our young birds, which were pale and very small, not developed yet. And she's been very lonely. All of our friends have gone, and actually I'm just feeling for her crop because she hasn't been eating very well lately, which is why we've got these new birds. She has eaten. I can feel some food in there, but it's not like it used to be where it was lovely and full. So she's upset about losing her sisters and friends, which is one of the reasons why we got new birds, because they just seem so lonely and quiet in here. So there we are, there's Ginger. What else have we got? This is another feature we have, which I keep forgetting about. So that if anything does get in here, they can't then get into the coop. This is I think she's a Pekin Bantam. She's our little Bantam anyways. This is Buffy. Beautiful, beautiful blonde bird here. She's not a great layer, I'll be honest. I don't think she's laid any eggs recently. But she's our little Pekin or Cochin Bantam, I think. I can't quite remember. But she's a beautiful bird. This is Buffy. And last but not least, I can't catch her because she's so fast, but that's Wendy, our little Wyandotte. So she's blue laced, which is that lovely silvery blue around the really dark iridescent brown feathers that she's got. Beautiful bird. She lays our biggest eggs at the minute. Again, a pale, very pale brown, almost pinky colour. She's growing away. But you'll also notice that her comb, which is particular for Wyandottes, isn't so much a comb as more like I guess like a beret. You know, quite short, but still got that lovely dark red colour to it. So we know that she's definitely laying. But yeah, so those are our 5 birds that are still here. Plus, we've got our 3 new birds, which we're going to introduce. How we're going to do that is at night, when everybody's asleep, is we're going to sneak in and with the new birds, just place them into the coop, and they all wake up together, and the idea is they're like, oh, where do you come from? And they all just get on well. That's the plan. Whether or not it works is a different matter. What will probably happen is that the new girls will be a bit shy. There will probably be a little bit of argy-bargy just whilst they figure out who's boss. But that's pretty natural, and I'll be on hand as well, just making sure that everyone's getting on fine, everybody's getting water, and everybody's getting food. And before long, they'll be just part of the group. And then what we'll do is we'll keep them in here for a little while, perhaps a week or 2, so that everybody knows this is home, and they all know that they're all one big family. And then we'll start free ranging them again, so that that way the new girls know the routine of about 3-4 o'clock I come up with some seeds to bring everybody back in, and also because they would have been a bit cooped up for a while, being locked away with these new friends, it's nice for them to have a bit of space. And you can definitely tell that they want a bit of space by that point, so then we'll start letting them out. And then before long, we won't even know that they're new, they'll just be part of the family like these guys are. Well, the sun has set. The girls have been well settled throughout the day, but everybody's asleep now, so we're going to go in and move them into the main coop. So, excuse me, Alex. Here's Babs. Put her in this one. Okay, Maria. Top Mrs. So, whilst we've got them, another thing we need to do with the two smaller birds is to stop them from being, they're quite flighty, and we want to stop them from being able to fly away. So, I need to clip their wings. Just check they're not already done. Nope. No. So what we're doing is, it's just like cutting your fingernails. It's only the feathers. We're not cutting the actual wing, we're cutting the feathers. And they'll grow back next year. What it means is that if they do try and fly, that they're lopsided and they can't get anywhere far, basically. That's important because our garden is safe. And we don't want them getting out onto the road or into a neighbour's garden with a dog that isn't trained around chickens, where they'd be in danger. Or cats, for that matter, as well. So all I gotta do is stretch out her wing like this, and then very carefully just cut off these flight feathers. So it's uncomfortable, just like when you cut a dog's toenails as well, but it isn't painful. And just means that, like I said, she'll be unsteady if she does try and fly anywhere. That'll do. So now she's got one clipped wing and one normal wing. So she'll be lopsided if she does try and fly anywhere. Right, and now we've got to do the same for Danny. Actually, she has already got her wings clipped. This one's already been done by the breeder, so we don't need to do her. Just check that. Yeah, so this one we've got a nice complete wing. This one has already been done. So I don't want to cut any more because that will cut a wing. I'll just tuck it for a minute. And now we'll go to the main coop. Right, so we're at the main coop. Everybody's asleep. They're probably wondering what all this creeping is going on at night. But it's all for the best because I'll have some nice new friends. Oh, they're all asleep. Probably a bit too dark, is it? Yeah, too dark. I think the other girls definitely woke up, but they weren't too shocked, which is good. They just sat there, not really sure what's going on. So we'll leave them like that, come back in the morning, and hopefully everybody's out and getting on well. Probably won't be. It'll probably be all of the old birds out and around in the run, and the new birds hiding in the coop. But we'll see how they get on. But this is the best way to integrate them, because it means that they're all they know that that's a safe space now. They know that they're all right in there, and that they can all start getting along together, and it feels like a more natural introduction rather than just bringing them in and they're an obvious outsider. This is a lot more organic, so it works very well generally. So we're off to bed. We'll see these ladies in the morning. Well, it's the next morning. There's a fair old bit of crowing going on, but as you can see, Babs is out, and so is Scotch the Third. And they're not, looking too out of place. They're just getting used to one another. The only one who I can't see is Danny, so she's probably still in the coop. I'm just going to get her out now. I've only got the one hand, so I have to pause the film, but let's see where she's to. Well, I'd say that's a success. Because they're not, alright, they're a little, put out of sorts because there's some strangers in their run, the old girls. It does feel like one camp over there, one camp over here. But, no, that's good. I'm happy with that. She's making herself at home, scratching around, which is brilliant. I've got the rocks down on the hoppers so that the new girls can access their food. Now, I was really, really pleased yesterday because they were all eating out of the hopper. Oh, you might see a little bit of... No. That's good. Yeah, really, really pleased. Oh, okay. That's pretty normal. And just, they have got to sort out their hierarchy. But not bad. I'm sure there'll be more little spats like that. But like I say, they just got to sort out their hierarchy. And, yeah, they'll all be fine. Good. Just wanted to point out that Danny is enjoying her food from the hopper. And Scotch is enjoying a bit of sun. This might be the first time she's seen the sun. If she's been in a barn all her life, this could be the first bit of sun she's had. Because you notice none of the others are really sunbathing. They're sort of used to it. But she's loving it. So they're all just scratching away. Just being normal chickens, which is brilliant. No argy-bargy. Apart from there was a tiniest little scrap just of everyone figuring out who's who. But everyone's just acting pretty normal now, which I'm really, really pleased about. A little bit of crowing, where they're a bit unsure, but really, really not bad at all. Well, it's been a few weeks now, and everybody seems pretty well integrated. So it's finally time to let them out and... yeah, let them have some freedom. So hopefully they do want to come out. They're a lot more calmer now. Obviously, like I said, they were very nervous after our visit from the fox. But oh no, Ginger's straight out. Babs is thinking about it. What I'll do is just encourage them out by trying to round them out. It's a lovely sunny day, so we want them to enjoy the sunshine. But what usually happens is that the new ones, one's gone, is that they, they're used to this nice secure environment of being in here and they don't like to leave. But I won't force them. They've got the opportunity, and it just means that they've got a bit of space to get away from everyone. not to get away from everyone, but to, you know, have some space to their own. But they've really integrated so well, so I'm really happy with that. See, she's quite nervous to leave. It's all a bit new and different, but yeah, we'll see how we get on. It's, you know, it'll be nice to see them out on the grass, and off they go. I think this is the first time some of them will have been on grass, so this is all a bit new for them. But they're getting it. But see, they're all getting on really well. So there we are. I think we can safely say that that's that. They're just enjoying their new lives now. There we are. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give a big like and subscribe for more. And I'll see you again next time. Cheers.